Kaylin says monogamy doesn't really help either men or women. Women complaining about doing housework, raising kids, and carrying the emotional load need other women to help, but they don't want their husbands to have sex with other women. He says women don't understand trade-offs. Polygamy is better. Polygamy is better. All right. But we don't live in a society that participates in a poly relationships. Neither can men afford poly relationships. So that's where the difficulty is. But I agree that I believe women need other women. He says, I'm not a passport bro. I know I'm not a passport bro, but so they're saying that he wasn't going in on me. But I believe in all aspects of child raising, doing chores around the house, and managing a household, multiple women are needed. And let's just take sex out of it, monogamy versus poly. Many people who are in wealthy or middle class, upper middle class societies have multiple women helping. For instance, a woman that is a wife to an executive will have another woman that operates as a nanny. That's an example of multiple women helping in the household. She may even have a cook. She may even have somebody that helps shuttle the kids back and forth. So there's multiple women helping in that household. She may have a mother-in-law, somebody, she may have something that another woman helping her in that household, which then says that in order for her to get through that situation, she needs to have multiple women helping her. But what happens is when you have 5 figures only, what happens is that responsibility falls on the husband. So you can't afford a nanny, a daycare, childcare. You don't have a parent like a mother, a mother-in-law, a grandmama to help. You don't have a nanny or a house cleaner, a maid. You don't have another woman to help. So then that responsibility falls on the man. He needs to help with the kids, help with taking the kids to school, and so forth and so on. So that's then where your problem becomes an economic problem. You can't afford another woman to help you. But if you bossed up, you could. You even can have another woman serve as a concubine or an intermediary or a person that gives you access to sex outside of your wife when she fails to perform her duties. So you can even up the ante there. She might even look the other way. She might even engage in her own salacious type of activities outside of your range or realm. So I believe as a person, I'm a person that believes that traditional relationships and marriages are probably the best for society. Andrew Wilson kept bringing that point up. However, if you look at the way things need to work and where the relationships fall apart, it is falling apart economically, and the fact that women cannot do it all by themselves. They often need other women to help them raise kids in a house. They need other women. J-Lo says women are the prize because they can do these things, but often need other women to assist them to complete the process. Or if you don't have the economics, they need the husband to chip in to complete the process. How are you the prize in that case? Let me not get ahead of myself. Okay. Anyway, Chris says, welcome back, coach. We missed you. Pause. LOL. Shout out to you. Joel says, with women, only way to win is to not play the game. That's the only way to keep your sanity. That's for sure. All right. That's the only way to keep your sanity. But yeah, I think we have great expectations for human beings. I think human beings are fallible. I think they're goofy. I think most human beings are ignorant severely. So I don't put much trust and faith long-term with human beings. I don't care if it's man or woman, but I typically, almost 100%, pretty much 100% are going to deal with a woman romantically. So I don't put much faith in women holding up their end of the bargain because they just can't do it. I don't think they're built for it. They don't handle stress well. They don't make decisions well when they are with information or without information. So in my position, I don't put my trust and faith in that. Even a woman that is somewhat supportive, a Gucci man wife type of woman, it's hard for her to make decisions by herself. All right. And so she's always going to need a powwow, a group meeting. She's always going to need to run it by you. What women are great at and what young men are great at, they're good at making decisions after the information is presented. Okay. So after the fact, 2020 vision. Once, and men, young men, you're great at this too. Once you see the results, you're good at making decisions that, oh, I would have chose to do this. Well, that's obvious. Well, the decision's already made. The situation's already happened. What do you do now? Everybody can know what to do after the fact. Hindsight is 2020. But when you're having to make decisions right in the present, typically young men and women of all ages fall right here. This is where you fail in life. This is where loser men fail in life. You'll watch a person work for 5 and 10 years and they'll start seeing the results, right? They'll sow what they reap. They'll reap what they sow. They'll put in the work and then you'll say it was lucky. Meanwhile, you didn't did shit with your life and now you got the same result. Shout out to Brandon. Welcome back, coach. Thank you for the education.